Hello YouTube. Alright guys, so now that we've got our final, I've already been testing it a little bit, getting a feel for it. This is the Rivet lock Puukko long. Now you guys have seen the last 3 videos. We've gotten this far. The sheath is pretty basic. Sheath like this. Just the same exact Rivet lock. I just have it clipped to my belt. And I don't know, I just do a brief video where I'm just gonna chop a little bit of stuff. There's a branch there and a plank, so we'll quickly see what it's like. Now plank wood is often what people take chop, so, or carve with. You see there's no problem with carving it into feather sticks, especially from a plank. That's pretty decent. So as you can see, it chops pretty well. Granted that this is just a plank. And then here we have a branch, which is typically something that people would, you know, they'd chop off a tree and then they would strip. So, you know, how about that? I think kind of a neat thing about this knife is you have a lot of reach. It's very long, but it's very light and very low profile. So, and it is very strong. See if I can go through this in one shot. I think I can. Yeah. See, when it's not going through, it's because the tip is actually hitting the other side. So it is actually going through. Wow. So nothing too special. Pretty decent. Aren't really the only scratches that appear on this are from the sheathing and unsheathing. That didn't really cause, the chopping itself didn't really cause any wearing on the surface finish. It didn't feel like the handle was too small. It actually felt kind of nice. But earlier when I tested this, I deliberately made my hands wet and then it was a bit slippery to use, but that's because, you know, it's a steel handle. If it weren't for this finger thing here, it would have been very difficult. And of course you remedy that by simply putting scales or a paracord handle on, but that's just when it's wet, and even then it wasn't so bad. I haven't tried it with gloves on yet. I just wanted to do some quick testing. I want to do things incrementally. I don't want to go too hard too fast because, you know, I want to make these and if I have to make hundreds of them to test, because each one is for a simple little test, it'll be a lot of elbow grease. The heat treat is really nice. It's extremely, see, it's catching the skin on my finger, and that's been after like a whole day of, well, not a whole day, sorry, but a couple hours of being here and playing around with chopping some wood and stuff. So I like it very much. I think it's great. If you're wearing a vest, military vest, this really doesn't take up much space on your vest. It's very low profile. I need to work on the sheath. Right now it's pretty tight. It's the first one I made for this. The handle I think will have to be made a little longer anyway, because my press, the Kydex system that I have for making the sheath, the tip comes out like a little bit So I need to anyway make the handle longer just so I can fit this in my Kydex system. But so far I love everything about this, and I like how simple it is. An inspiration for this series, really, and I've been working on it for a long time, is I met this went over to these people's apartment in Helsinki a long time ago, and this guy found out. I was with a friend, and it was this friend of mine's friend that we went to visit, and he's like, "Oh, you're a knife maker? Well, let me show you my favorite knife." And it was just this raggedy old full steel, you know, the blacksmith knife with the forged tail that comes back, and all it was just a piece of chunk of steel, and he actually took care of the edge very well, and the spine had just been completely caved in from hammer marks because he had used he'd just been batoning with it so much. And I realized, like, really the primary use that he was using his knife for was literally just, all he would do is just hold it like that and just baton it. So I wouldn't use a metal hammer like he did, but it worked for him. I would use a log, or, you know, but something that's a bit better for batoning. And of course here in this case, you can see that if you wanted to baton this log, you could, right? So I'm not going to do it on this log, but on some of the later videos that we're going to do, I just want to make this video very brief and quick, just to show that, you know, the testing is pretty successful so far, and I really dig this knife, and it's a lot of fun to carry, and it feels great. And it's nice to have like a really long knife that isn't like a huge chopper or a Bowie knife or something like that. That this is actually like realistic knife to carry because it's so lightweight. It's a very realistic, like I'm talking for its blade length, which is almost 30 centimeters. I can't remember how much I said this was in inches, but the overall is 42 centimeters. So quite a lovely blade. I'm very pleased with how this has turned out. And just do a final little chop maybe on a board here, just to one thing that's really nice actually about a blade that's this long is you can actually chop. You see, the blade is all the way down here, and the weight of that blade actually allows you to chop with the heel of the knife. So that weight actually lets you dig in, which is cool. Just a neat thing I found. There it is, lads and ladies, if there's any of you watching. And I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be more of these available in the coming weeks. And hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you, and bye-bye.